Future Jubilee. That's right. Future Jubilee. Now, Future Jubilee was the hero that saved them from the first part when they were getting shot at in the Genosha introductory stage. Then she saved them against the situation with the Savage Land with the dinosaur mutants, and then again with the Magneto situation just now. So this Future Jubilee basically starts to break everything down and how she's trapped in the game. Long story short, Mojo wanted to create this game, so he had to have real characters in it. So he had to have a replica of Jubilee and Roberto, and he had to keep making multiple replicas, basically AI generated digital replicas of the people or the heroes, because they kept dying from the game, and he had to figure out the best way to make the game not too hard and not too easy. Long story short, it was like troubleshooting. We getting into kind of like the technical terms now and ideas. So now Jubilee is basically, she's just the future Jubilee. By the way, her name is Abscissa. Abscissa is the name of this future Jubilee. Abscissa. So now, if you are familiar with mathematical reasoning and concepts, you understand what the x-axis and the y-axis is. That's what the abscissa is and the ordinate. So the abscissa basically is perfect way to describe this future Jubilee. We'll get into that, but I just wanted to break that down. We're gonna see something that comes up in the to end this whole thing off. But long story short, this future Jubilee is really interesting because first of all, she's breaking out how she's the last survivor. So all the Robertos, all the other Jubilee replicas, they all died, and she's the one who survived. And throughout her survival, she learned all the glitches in the game. So basically, she's like the cheat code in the game, but she's trapped in the game. So she's so mature and beyond where Jubilee is now. You're getting to see a different side of Jubilee, where Jubilee is just giving some type of guru quotes. Basically, like the concepts of you only live once. You don't get to live. You don't get to redo your life. You're not going to keep getting a one up. That was that one time because I was able to, but who knows what Mojo is able to do. And then she's also given the concepts and quotes of leaps of faith. Take leaps of faith. Don't be scared. You should go expand on everything that you have right now. Appreciate what you have, but expand on it. The concepts and the quotes alone make this Abscissa Jubilee, future Jubilee, a phenomenal character and good moment in the whole thing. But one of the most telling parts, again, that ties into all of the themes is Abscissa lets Jubilee know and Roberto that all this time, y'all didn't realize it, but Professor X wasn't the one that was the right one. Magneto was right all along. And the future let us know that. And long story short, think about the concepts and what people normally say about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, they ended up having that meeting together and starting to fuse ideologies a little bit more and see each other's point of view. But before all that happened, it was chaotic with the tension and differences that people were saying that they were on with. One with integration, one with separation. If we put those concepts in place, basically she's saying that the ideology of separation is going to be the best thing. And long story short, the integration thing, of course, it in a lot of ways, racism got canceled out because of that. So that was the phenomenal part. That moment of people just coming together and going to different situations, clubs, restaurants, parks, amusement, anything, they doing those things together, that definitely fused and made race relations better. But overall, if you think about things right now, that still could have been done. And people could have had their own situations where people don't feel like gentrification is happening and all these type of different words and concepts that people use, redlining, all these different things that happen as far as race relations is concerned. So that's what I believe that kind of tied into by saying Magneto was always right. Now, getting into this and ending off this scene right here, basically, Abscissa is showing Jubilee everything that Jubilee needed to see to kind of take the next step is how it looks like. Abscissa is like, listen, we doing all this talk, but listen, for gamers, as far as a gamer, this is good, but don't get caught up into just being a gamer all the time. Use your whatever you gain from being a gamer to help you out moving forward in regular life. Very good theme right there. And for the target audience of gamers, this was perfect. But now Abscissa's like, yo, we got to stop playing around because Mojo is going to come anytime. And as this happens, Mojo enters, and it went from Magneto and Asteroid M being the final stage to Mojo being the final boss. Just like, kind of like Cooper. That's what it felt like, Bowser. So here we go now. Abscissa shows Jubilee her true powers. She got the glow from her feet, from her foot. Then the sparkles that the Jubilee powers. Then she got them doing some type of spinning type of blades, creating all type of shapes. And Jubilee just sitting back, looking at like, wow, I could do all that. And Abscissa's telling her, well, you could do way more. This is just the start of it. So that's real telling, because Abscissa, she basically started taking out taking out Mojo single-handedly, chopping off his legs. And then Roberto comes in, and he finally comes and uses his powers because he's seen that it started to get a little hectic. Once they started to damage Mojo, the final blow was a fusion with Abscissa and Jubilee. And they basically made some big type of atom. Now look at this. It looks just like the atom. And when you think about the concept of this fusion that they're charging, it's like the fusion of your cells. Your past life, the you from your childhood, I guess we should say, or part of you that you probably are not. There's some parts there that you probably can use now to benefit you. And parts of you now you can probably get rid of and correlate those two things together with the best parts of your old and the new. And that's what it reminded me. Fusing the best parts of yourself, know thyself, and that's how they were able to take out Mojo. Just like his rules in the game. If you die in the game, you're gonna die in real life. So he's really bruised and hurt. They beat him up badly, and then final blow is Spiral is right there, and she pushes him or delivers the final blow. And now you can see, because that is what happened in the comics and everything. Spiral ended up being free from Mojo. So this basically is how they showed how that happened, but she still got to keep her powers. So just like Spiral, when Mojo dies, the game is over. So game over is ended. Spiral vanishes, and so does Abscissa. And right after that, they all, Jubilee and Roberto, they just wake up back in the bed where it all started. But this time they wake up and they look, and they go right to the Motendo, and they see that Motendo was destroyed. So now they realize, oh, all that was real. Now they realize all of the benefits that actually had. Even though it was scary, Abscissa was basically there to teach Jubilee things that she had no idea she could do. So that was powerful, and it ended with the romance theme again. Jubilee's 18, they end up having a romantic kiss, and the scene slowly goes away, and they bend over, like they basically laying down, and you can use your own imagination of what happened. Jubilee's 18, and that's the end of Motendo. And for the last scene,